find the percentages myself of the frogs because I wanted to give you guys that chance, but also you don't need the percentages for the pie chart because Google Sheets will figure that out for you. So what I would suggest is go right here to File, New, and add a new spreadsheet. And then you're going to copy color and amount and all of the colors and the amounts and just that. So you can highlight it and Control C. And then go to your brand new spreadsheet whenever it decides to open and do Control V. So the directions this time say to make a pie graph. So we're going to do that. And pie graphs are good for when you're doing parts of a whole. So we have this whole amount of frogs in our classroom, and we're kind of trying to decide what percent chose the color. And it was interesting, I could see when you guys chose, some of you guys just chose randomly, like whatever's on top, and some of you chose on purpose, like this is the color I want. So it really doesn't tell us anything about the percent of the colors in the bag or your preference, since you guys mixed up your methods there. All right, so now this is already highlighted, and after it's highlighted, you can go to Insert Chart. And it was going to think about that and decide what kind of chart it wants to give you. And no, it gave me the right one. But here's one thing I don't like about this chart. Why is the pink labeled blue? So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to change it to pink. And I'm going to make this blue one not red. And then this will be green. Actually, let me change this one first so they don't both look that color. This one's orange, and then this one's green. And what else is my graph lacking?
Title.
Yeah, a good title. It has a title, but amount doesn't really tell me anything. So I'm going to change the title to Frog Colors. Okay, and then you're going to copy that with the 3 dots and then paste it into your assignment. Any questions on that before I go back to the assignment? Okay. Analyzing a pie chart with 3 sentences is actually kind of tricky because there's not that many things that you can say about a pie chart. But don't overthink it. Just tell me what you notice in the pie chart, okay? Basically, tell me what you can see in that pie chart. And then we'll be ready to start recording distances. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this because you're going to move at different rates. And then I'm going to give you guys some time to jump your frogs and find their distances. Some of you guys might decide to go in the hallway, but you don't want to all go in the hallway because then the hallway is crowded and the classroom's empty. So we're all going to just find the place that we have space, okay? All right, so you are going to find 20 distances. You see how these are 20? Later on, when we make the histogram and you are copying and pasting those distances in, it doesn't work to copy and paste them like that. So what you want to do later when you're making your histogram is make a single column. So copy this, and just put them all in a single column. This part down here, these would be steps that you would do if you were creating the histogram by hand. So it's giving us some practice with that, but since it's a digital document, we're not going to actually create it by hand. So this is independent of this. They're 2 separate ways to create a histogram, okay? Down here, the bin size is the bar of your histogram. So, for example, if my smallest distance, let's say my smallest distance was 10 centimeters. Okay, and then say my largest distance of the 20 there was 100 centimeters. Okay, then I would need to split up all the numbers from 10 to 100 into 5 different bins because I want 5 bars on my histogram. You can actually make a histogram with 6 bars, 7 bars, with 4 bars. I just want 5 this time. So I'm going to divide it into 5 different bins. So what I need to do is figure out how many numbers are between 10 and 100. That's the range. And that's what it says to do right here. Largest minus smallest. So I did 100 minus 10, and I got 90. And then divide it by 5 so that I can have 5 different bins. So in this case, with these numbers, my bin size is 18. Now yours is probably not going to be 18. Then if you were to make a histogram by hand, you would start at 10, and your first bin would go from 10 to 28, because it's a size of 18. So over here where it says bins, my first bin would be 10 to 18, and then my next bin would be 18 to, what's 18 plus, oh, I did 8. Why does nobody stop me when I can't count? Anybody catch that? Okay. 10 to 28, because I'm adding 18. And then I have to add 18 again, 38, 46, to be 28 to 46. And then you have to add again 18. So you see how you get your bins. There should be 5 of them. And then over here for count, you would go back and look at your numbers, and you would count how many times you landed between 10 and 28. And that number would go here. Yes?
Where's the bin?
So the bin is how wide your histogram bar is.
Oh, okay.
So if my smallest number was 10, and my bin size is 18, then this would be 28 right here, because this is a distance of 18. Okay, you will have more questions when you get to that, but the first task is going to be to find the distances that they jump. So when I give you your meter stick, you can decide to work in the hallway that's in front of me. Please don't go around the corner because I need to be able to see you, but also please do spread out. So feel free to go all the way to the end of the hallway so that you can have some space to yourself. I suggest highly that you use the meter side because it's easier to use the millimeters than it is the fractions of the inches. I'm also going to suggest to you that you measure how big the square is on the floor so that if you go like 10 squares, you don't have to actually measure all 10. You can do 10 times that number, okay? All right, so when you get your meter stick, choose where you're going to work, and you're going to collect 20 pieces of data. Awesome. You probably want to work on the floor. I have hand sanitizer for when you're done.
It's you can change the room of the pie chart. Yes, you can.
All right, so once you have all your distances, you take your largest distance minus your smallest distance to find the range. That goes right here. Divide it by 5 and round to the closest integer. That just tells you how wide your histogram bars would be. Then, if I'm just going to put something in here and get rid of it. If I did 100 minus 10, and I got 90, and then I did 90 divided by 5, equals 18, and it's still 18. But mine is. It might not be yours. Okay? And then my smallest number is 10, so my first bin starts at 10. And I add 18 to that because that's my bin size to 28. And then the next one goes 28 to 18 more than that we said was 46. And then you do 18 more than that. Now that's just because my bin size is 18. If yours isn't, don't do that. Okay, you're going to keep doing that, and then you're going to count how many of these land in each bin, and that goes here. If you were drawing your histogram by hand, the count would tell you how tall each bar was. Okay, and then on your x-axis, you would have marked 10, 28, 46, 64, etc. You're going to have 5 bins, though. Okay. Guys, Quiet down for this one more thing, because even those of you who have started might be missing on this thing. When you create your histogram, you do not use your bins. The histogram creates the bins on its own. So what I want you to do is go back for the histogram. This is the data here that you need for the histogram. However, Google Sheets would like that information in one column. So you can either copy it over and then move it into one column, or you can just copy a piece at a time and then put those pieces all in one column in a Google Sheet. Remember, you can go to File, New Google Sheet to get that Google Sheet, and then you do Insert Chart, and then you change your chart to a histogram. Make sure that you add labels for your horizontal axis, your vertical axis, and make sure you add a title. And then after that, you're going to analyze it with SOX, shape, outlier, center, spread. Does anybody have a question before I come around to look at your work individually? Remember that even though you're turning in one, I would like every person to work on the graphs because it's good practice for you.
It's like